So here's the facts and a quick breakdown of the National Association of Realtors lawsuit, the potential settlement, and how it could affect your property's value in the San Ramon Valley. My name is Brooks Landry, and for the past 15 years, I've helped over 400 buyers, sellers, and investors buy and sell real estate right here in the San Francisco East Bay. My team and I have a knack for finding off-market properties and a certain passion when it comes to marketing and exposing our clients' properties to the masses. And in this video, I'm digging into how the National Association of Realtors' recent settlement and lawsuit could affect buying and selling real estate right here in the San Ramon Valley. I'll go over some facts, some myths, and I'll explain how it could actually hurt your leverage when it comes to selling your property. I'll also dig into a few of the ways that my team and I are pivoting to bring more value to you, the client. If you find any of this information helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe and share this with any friends that you think could benefit from it. So these recent shifts in the real estate industry are challenging traditional norms when it comes to buying and selling real estate. These could potentially affect home prices, real estate commissions, and the entire transparency from A to Z when it comes to buying and selling real estate. These challenges aren't just industry news. They directly influence your ability to negotiate, understand some of the costs when it comes to buying and selling real estate. So let's dig into some of the facts and I'll share my opinion. Fact number one, the $418 million settlement highlights a push towards more transparency, which could mean more clarity and potential lower costs for both buyers and sellers. So the main argument in this entire lawsuit was that real estate brokers had a fixed pricing model that was non-negotiable. The class action lawsuit claims that it's not the home seller's responsibility to compensate the buyer's agent. It's the buyers who hired the buyer's agent will be responsible for the compensation. So it's up to the buyers to pay their buyer's broker a fee. So my opinion on that is the more transparency in any industry, the better the consumer confidence is in that industry. This is a good thing, and I'm all for transparency. And secondly, there has never been a fixed pricing model when it comes to buying and selling real estate, ever. I've been selling real estate for 15 years. I've sold over 400 homes. I've represented large teams. I've owned brokerages with a healthy roster of realtors that were closing transactions on a monthly basis. Never in my career have I ever seen any sort of fixed pricing. In fact, I can't remember the last time I was at a listing presentation or a buyer consultation where the potential client on the other side of the table didn't negotiate. In fact, I make it crystal clear to every client that I've ever represented that I'm flexible when it comes to compensation, within reason. In fact, I go on listing appointments where a lot of the times the homeowners will have an Excel spreadsheet broken down with price breaks, with incentives based off compensation, so nobody can tell me that this was fixed pricing and the homeowners or home buyers didn't know that this was negotiable, all compensation. Fact number two, this settlement also says that local MLSs can no longer advertise compensation on the MLS. For those of you that don't know what an MLS is, let me break it down really quick. So the MLS is essentially a central database where real estate brokers list your home for sale. In most cases, it's tied to some of the big websites like Zillow, Redfin, Realtor.com, and about 150 other ones that you may not be aware of. Basically, the site holds important information specific to the property for sale. Bed bath count, when it was built, description about the property, information and data that can be given to anybody interested in the home, as well as compensation that may be offered to the buyer's agent. It communicates to other realtors. So my opinion on this is I've got no issue with this whatsoever, and here's why. First of all, it does eliminate that agent that's looking at compensation first before showing the potential property to their client. Listen, it's an ugly fact, but it's truthful. Unfortunately, there is real estate agents out there that are only compensation focused. I also think it demands better communication from the buyer's agent to the listing agent. It allows the listing agent to learn a little bit more about the buyer that's interested in previewing their client's property. But on the other side, it gives the buyer's agent an opportunity to learn a little bit more about the seller's expectations and what the seller's goals are and reason for selling. Again, full transparency. From a real estate professional standpoint, I love these changes. I think the transparency is going to weed out some of those agents that are in this market or in this industry for a quick buck. Those realtors that are mucking up the profession for the agents that take this thing seriously. This settlement's going to force transparency. It's going to force realtors to get creative on the value that they're bringing or offering their clients. And the smart realtors will pivot in a way that better serves their clients. And I think it's too early to say who the winners and the losers are when it comes to the settlement. It still needs to get approved at the federal court level. However, I think you and I can both agree on this, that the attorney who brought the class action lawsuit to light is going to walk away with some pretty good compensation. The irony in all of this. So here are some quick tips if you're planning on buying or selling real estate in the San Ramon Valley this year. Tip number 1 is for you home sellers. Consider your listing strategy very carefully. The immediate response to this is that home sellers no longer need to pay compensation to a buyer's agent. That's always been the case. It's always been negotiable. However, I do believe it's best practice for the home seller to offer some sort of incentive to the buyer's agent bringing the buyer to the property. And the compensation being paid out from both listing agent to buyer's agent was always factored into the sale of the property. And in some cases, it was the determining factor on whether or not listing and selling the property made sense in the first place. So if your goal is to sell your property moving forward, I would recommend offering some sort of compensation to the buyer's agent that brings the buyer to the home. Message me and I'll share with you my new business structure as it pertains to moving forward with listing a property in this current real estate market. Tip number 2, and this is for buyers. You need to interview the real estate agent that you're hiring to represent you as your buyer's agent more thoroughly. I would have them prepare a buyer-broker agreement that outlines the strategies and the process on how they're going to find you your property. Agree on a compensation package within that contract and hold that agent to it. And if they're not abiding by that contract, you should be able to walk away. Keep in mind that not all homeowners are going to be offering compensation to the buyer's agent. So make sure you work out a plan in writing within that contract to make sure that you're compensating that buyer's agent for his or her time. Message me and I'll share with you some questions that you should be asking any agent that you're interviewing to represent you. So here are some questions that I've got from clients over the past couple weeks. Do I need to pay a buyer's agent when I sell my home? Technically, no. But again, you've never needed to. I personally believe that it's best practices to incentivize any workforce that is selling a product of yours that's giving you the highest price and the best terms. I do think that sellers are going to still offer compensation to the buyer's agent because you understand that the more people that see your properties for sale, the better opportunity you have at selling at the best price. I'm selling my home this July. I'll be offering compensation to any buyer's agent that brings in the buyer. Question number 2, do I need to pay a buyer's agent if I'm going to buy a property? Do you have to? No. Will you find a realtor that's willing to work for free? No. Put together a plan in place that compensates that buyer's agent. If you have questions about that, again, message me and I'll share how I've been preparing my business for this exact move. So the question is anything really changing? Yes and no. The settlement is going to demand transparency, which is going to be better for the consumer in the end. That's a plus. Will realtors still get compensated? Absolutely. You wouldn't want to work for free, and you can't expect a self-employed real estate professional to do the same. I do think we're going to see a rush to the market of those flat fee real estate companies that overpromise and underdeliver. But again, you get what you pay for. I also think you'll see those part-time real estate agents that maybe were in it for a quick buck or just wanted to sell a home every now and then fade away. It's going to leave nothing but proven professionals with a longevity within the industry to be available for you to interview. So I've always come from a place of value. I've always thought, how much more can I offer the consumer that's choosing to work with me over the thousands of options that they have in their backyard? That's actually led to my free home prep process where we handle all of the home preparation for our listings at zero cost to the seller. And because of this settlement, it's forced me to create a buyer's compensation value package for any buyer that hires myself or my teammates. I'm excited about these new changes. This NAR settlement is reshaping the real estate industry moving forward. It's going to bring both challenges and opportunities. But staying informed and flexible, buyers and sellers can make the best of these changes. Remember, in real estate, knowledge is not just power, it's profit. Message me to learn more about our free home prep process and our new buyer value package. I hope this information helps. You know I'm here to help. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share this with any of the friends that you think could benefit from it. I'll talk to you soon.